Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of G.I. Joe Classified's Tiger Force. Now, this is sort of an update. I've already done Recondo and Bazooka and Duke with the, I can't remember what his RAM cycle was called, the Tiger Force version of it. But this is the next 5 figures. I can't say the next. I think Outback came before some of them. Outback's quite a bit older, but I'm doing Outback and Dusty and Flint, and I'm also doing Tripwire and Roadblock. All Target exclusive figures, all very cool. Tiger Force came out at the end of the 80s. It was probably when I was sort of on my way out of G.I. Joe. I'm pretty sure I wasn't getting much, if anything, G.I. Joe, but I certainly wasn't getting Tiger Force or Night Force or any like the Ninja Force or any of those kind of repaint series. I was sort of done. But as an adult getting these figures, I kind of want all of them because I realize there's a window on all of this where, you know, Hasbro will release figures for 5 or 6 years, and then these figures will go dormant and go silent, and then you won't see them again until, you know, for another 10 years or so. So I'm trying to enjoy them while they last, trying to get all the figures while they're coming out. And within reason, there's some figures I haven't been able to get. Nothing comes immediately to mind, but that first Snake Eyes, when it kicked off, that first Snake Eyes was just a beast. But I try to remind myself he didn't have a number. He wasn't number 1 or anything. So, if you need to make an excuse, you could always say, yeah, he was 00, so he lifts right out of the collection. Anywho, I'm gonna open these figures. Let's examine these different types of packaging. The first kind was that plastic packaging, the regular packaging, just much wider than the sort of the subsequent packaging. Maybe not quite a bit, but once it gets to this packaging sort of matches up to the modern packaging, which is much thinner. It's a little bit shorter, but it's 4 different types of packaging. The first one, of course, is the regular packaging that we were all used to. The second kind of packaging was mostly art, little action figure, and on the back it was action figure heavy. Of course, here it was kind of the Cobra Island sort of set up for that. The side art, very cool as always. Very nice. The third kind, which was action figure prominent, the artwork on the side and all the accessories here, which I liked better. I think the accessories are still there and there, so I'm a fan of that either way. But this was the other version, and I'm not sure which version came first, but this is the 4th version. The black packaging is what everything's coming in now. And it's a very narrow box. It's very short. Looks great on a shelf. It doesn't take up a lot of space. That's a Roadblock and Tripwire. I'm not going to say M. McLeod. They're trying to make the drone a character, and the drone is not a character. The drone is a drone. It's still cool, I'm just saying. I do like that they have the watchtower. They had a G.I. Joe watchtower at some point. I'm pretty sure it was repurposed from another toy line, and they were just like, let's make this a G.I. Joe thing. I don't care. It was very cool. I also like, is that like a Viper? Did they just drop Flint off and then he crossed that water, or they slammed on the brakes and he was propelled over to the bank and he was like, I landed off safely on the other side? Is this like an Anthony Schmidt photography thing where he was taking a picture at the same time their toy photographer was taking a picture, and he said, I'm gonna I'm going to blow you away with perspective. And once again, he has. Very nicely done. So that's how they look in the package. Let's break them out and take a closer look at them. Now that they're out of the package, let's take a closer look at Tiger Force, Tripwire with McCloud, Roadblock, Flint, Outback, and Dusty. Let's start from the right. Let's start with Dusty. He's got the machine gun, and he's got, let's see, the knife on his side, and the backpack fits on real well. He came with 2 pairs of goggles. Neither one of them seemed to fit just him. Neither one of them go over his eyes. They just sort of droop. Maybe one is to wear around his neck. Let me take these off and put the other ones on. Maybe I got 2 that go on the helmet. I got two that can go on the helmet. I wonder if that was a mistake. Maybe they meant to give me 1 pair that could go over his eyes. To the naked eye, they both look like they are the same size. Look like they're the same piece. I think I might have just gotten 2 that were the same. But nice hairstyle, nice likeness in compared to the box. He has, I'm not going to go over all the articulation, but a lot of these guys have butterfly joints, which is very cool. Kind of opens up their posture. Also, when they're holding a weapon, they can cheat it out a little bit so that you can see that a little bit better. The kickstand comes already attached. The clip I had to put in separately, but the clip fits in really well. I almost knocked Roadblock down. The backpack, on most of these guys, there's a way to kind of line up the hole with the hole in the harness or their bodysuit or whatever they're wearing. Dusty's just a really solid figure. The paint scheme is a little odd. I don't know what Tiger Force seems to be like a kind of a jungle thing, and Dusty's skills aren't just for the desert. They probably lend themselves to the jungle. He probably knows quite a bit. In any case, like if Flint or Outback is leading through a jungle, Dusty's good at everything else. He's good at, following orders, and he's good at tactics and weapons. They all are. So they're all kind of cross-trained to do different things. Imagine in a real army, you wouldn't just send this guy to Iraq. You would send him to, cold climates too. You could send him anywhere. But his specialty is the desert. But yeah, he could go anywhere. He's like a teacher. A teacher could teach history, but a teacher could also teach English or whatever else the curriculum decides that teacher should teach. That was a weird analogy, right? So let's take a look at Outback now that we've had a weird analogy thrown at you. So Outback comes with a lot of cool stuff. He's got a pistol in his belt, and the pistol comes with like a flashlight attachment on the bottom. Sort of, if you can see, it looks like it's been taped. Would have been cool to have a little color hit, but it's nice to have that detail in there. It's got the wrap around the pistol grip, which is cool. He's got the flashlight, and that fits perfect there. He's got the knife, which I'm guessing is a survival knife. And of course, the backpack goes right through the harness. The harness sort of comes up like this, and it goes through, and it artificially makes the harness kind of hover. But if you want to pull this tight over him, and then put it back into the hole without putting it through the harness, you absolutely could do that too. So it's completely up to you whether you thread it through the hole in the harness or you don't thread it through the hole in the harness. This is reminiscent of the original figure. The original figure had a weapon like this that had the really stiff bandolier, or whatever you call it, the strap. Had a really stiff strap. This one's even a little more flexible than the 3 3/4 one. That thing was just a solid chunk. And if you know what I'm talking about, like the Baroness came with this really long laser pistol that never really fit her very well. That was super hard. Like you could put an eye out with that weapon. The 3 3/4 one, not the one she comes with now. Although Yeah, you probably could put an eye out. Don't put an eye out with G.I. Joe weapons. The more you know. Sorry. Okay, so I put the clip in here for this. Very cool. And he has butterfly shoulders too. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the articulation on these guys. Most of them are just really, really cool. Oh, he's got a shovel, but nothing for this side post, which I'm wondering if the original figure, which I haven't opened yet, maybe that figure has something else that comes with him that goes right on there. Or does the flashlight have something? Maybe the flashlight has a little hole in it where I can put that on the backpack. Nope, I was wrong, like super ultra wrong. Oh, maybe the post is for the weapon at rest. Maybe I can. Oh, and I can. I put right through the trigger guard, and then that holds that just great. But to keep it off his body, you probably have to put it like this. Nope, that's still resting on his body. It's still in his body. Let me see. It could be like this way, but not this way. And it can be put on this way. I also like how he has a different shirt than the original Outback. Outback just had, oh gosh, did it had Survivalist on the chest or something? I think that's what it has on the chest of this one. This one has a big portrait of a tiger. It's like they let Outback dress himself. And I think they put him, they made him grizzled and old. He's a grizzled veteran. So that, if he does whatever he wants, he's sort of grandfathered in. If somebody tries to tell him something, he'll be like, no. Joe Colton himself said he liked this shirt. And they're like, well, I mean, if Joe Colton said it, then we don't really have anything to say. Carry on. And then he starts wailing like a 3-year-old. And they're like, well, we did tell him to carry on. We just weren't real specific about how he should carry on. Sorry, that was a dumb joke. Here is Flint. Here is Flint. Sorry, I was trying to do a here. This is Halloween, but it's kind of dorky. So he's got the shotgun, which is really cool. He's got Rakondo's gun for some reason, which is still cool. It's a jungle gun. It's very cool. I don't know what these two canisters are, but they had to work hard to avoid his machete. I tried to kind of put them in the middle. The belt has to be sort of, where, this is here and this is there to kind of avoid the belt. But it kind of limits the mobility if you're trying to move that leg a little. I guess not. If you're trying to move the leg too far. The leg isn't meant to go way back here. It bends at the knee. But I don't know what these are. Devices of some kind. Not sure. He comes with a pistol. Comes with the machete. The aforementioned machete. This part came on him already. I don't think it's something you take off. I think it was molded right to the body armor. And in the packaging, it was protruding through the cardboard. And the hat is separate too. You can take the hat off. But, I'll just leave it on. But it came with it off. But I like the colors. I love the colors for Outback. Probably better than Dusty. Dusty's colors are okay. They're muted and they're not obnoxious. For Outback, who has decided to dress himself today, the Tiger Force orange is a real good look on him, and just the grizzled look and the absolute camouflage pants and the gear that says, I wouldn't underestimate me, man, if I were you. For Flint, the dark brown with the gray and the green hits and the dark gray, it just is all working. The colors are really nice. And just the paint across his eyes and just a little bit on his face is just real badass. It's not overdoing it. It's not kind of underdoing it. It just looks amazing. He just looks loaded down to take you out in a jungle. I would be terrified to crawl around if I knew Flint was somewhere in the brush maybe waiting for me. Roadblock was a comedy of errors for me. In order to figure out sort of how to operate him, I had to go to A Punk with Toys. A Punk with Toys channel did a review on Roadblock and Tripwire, and it was super informative as to how to do it. But you can see that he is clearly still holding the machine gun upside down, because I put it together upside down by accident. And what I mean by that is that there's a handle to the machine gun, and when the machine gun first comes to you, it comes with this, which is what you use with the tripod to control sort of the angle and the direction that it's firing in. Now, there's a little piece that comes with it. This is separate, and this plugs into the back of this. So when it came all together, it came like this with the handle in, and I took the handle out. It slides out really easy, and then there's that piece, and I had no idea where it went on the 60 caliber. I'm going to call it the M60, but the port is up here for the tripod, and of course it says Tiger Force upside down. I mounted it in this way, and it should go in this way. So it was easier to put this into his hand and just slide the whole thing together and see if it'll do that for me. And it does, and that's right side up now. Let me cheat his arm out a little bit so he holds that there. So now you can see it's right side up. You see this piece drops down and allows you kind of to plug that into the tripod. The tripod I've got attached to his back and on the backpack, like so. Let me take that off, and I'll show you what it looks like sort of attached. First, I'm going to take off the hand handle, just like that. I'm going to put this in. I'm not sure which side is up. Just going to guess. Yeah, I'm just guessing. Let me take the belt off. And you take this as is. You can put it into the mount. I put this way so that you can see it just a little bit better. But it raises up and down and goes left and right on there. And of course you can have a character holding the handles here. So that gives you your machine gun mount. There is a port that is underneath here that must plug into something else, like maybe the vamp or something like that, where you could put it on and then you could fire this thing from a port on the vamp. Because that port's not for nothing, but Roadblock doesn't have anything else. This doesn't have a peg, so there's nothing to go into here. This thing that flips down acts as the connector, acts as sort of the adapter to connect those two. Of course, the bullet belt is very cool. Something that you can soak in hot water, maybe then soak in cold water, and then you could just drape around his shoulders, something like that. Of course, it has the hand handle so he can hold on to it. Also has the giant backpack, and on the back it says Chef, which is a really nice touch because Roadblock was a cook on the cartoon. I don't know what all of the stuff is on his back or anything. I'm not sure what all of this good stuff is. Oh, this might be right where the machine gun plugs in. I only watched enough of A Punk with Toys review to figure out how to get that handle in. I didn't know what that was for, but yeah, that fits. So if you prefer that, you can put that on. You can take this off. You can put this in right side up, and now he's completely loaded out. Because you wouldn't use this and the other thing maybe, with every scene or anything. You use it with real specific stuff, but then everything would fit on his back. And of course, this is one of those things where you line it up with the hole. The hole is on the back, but there's a hole in the harness also So you got to line those up and plug those in. Of course, the helmet comes off. And that is Roadblock. I love the tiger stripes on his forehead and everything. You can't see them with the helmet on or anything, but love the expression. I love the uniform. I love the little changes. I know that we all want him in the camouflage from the original figure, and I know that we hated maybe that first release of Roadblock and the Cobra Island Roadblock, and we had to get through a lot of lousy Roadblocks to get to the Roadblock that we all wanted real bad. But that Roadblock was amazing, and this Roadblock is amazing too. His colors are different, but the gear is really the same, and it's an excellent reuse of that figure that we really love, and we would love for them to put that back out, and maybe in a retro series, maybe with a little bit of brighter color, more animated color. But this is an amazing figure. I like this a whole lot. I don't pretend to know what everything on his gear is, but I think that's part of the fun of it when I was a kid, was that I could make that anything I thought it might be. He's a chef. That could be just K-rations. When his backpack is lost or something, so that he has at least something to eat. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, last but not least is McCloud. I'm just teasing. It's Tripwire and McCloud. Tripwire is the mine hunter, and it makes sense that he has a robot because all mine hunters have robots now, and that go in and do the tough work. And he has the little treads that help him get like upstairs or downstairs, which is very cool. And got the little Tiger Force logo to kind of show you which direction he should be heading in, because the face is obviously looking this way. He's got the grabber that's hyper articulated. He doesn't have anything, the treads don't move, which is fine. He has a handle so that Tripwire could carry him if he wanted to. The articulation on it is amazing. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I doubt it would hold much, and the claws don't close around anything. So I'm not sure what you would carry with it or what you would do with it. But it's a really cool accessory. It makes absolute sense in this climate that you would have that. For the backpack, has the hose that connects to the mine detector. This part doesn't collapse. It's just made like that. It's just one piece of plastic, which is really cool. It looks amazing. It looks exactly like what you would use now. It has the arm clip, the handle, so that you can hold it properly. It has the mines in the backpack. I'm not sure how to get the mines out or if the mines go out, but he's also holding. I put it in his hand. It shouldn't be like a mystery of where it came from, but I have a mine that looks a little bit. It looks similar to the other ones. It has a post on it, so I'm not really sure what that does because he doesn't seem to have any place to put a mine on him. Like he doesn't have like a little hole there where I can just put a little mine like that. Like he just is kind of wielding mines or anything. And there was no place on the backpack for an extra mine. And I tried to do the thing where I press it into here, but there's no post hole in the middle of that. So there's no way to sort of just put this away where it goes. It just doesn't seem to go anywhere. It doesn't seem to have a home, as it were. I'm going to put that back on. Clippity clippity. So I'm not sure what's up with the mine. He does have a kind of a cool control pad. It's very simple. And I'm wondering if that's because most of the processing is going on behind his glasses. Like he just needs something to make the connection to McCloud and then something to do rudimentary controls with. But he sees everything that McCloud sees. Maybe the camera is in the drone, but it connects to his helmet, doesn't connect to the device at all. And maybe that's to make it more autonomous, because if he loses the remote or it gets shot in battle or shot right out of his hand or something, then the drone can still follow orders. He can still send them. It just takes a little bit longer. The figure is amazing, but if you have Tripwire already, you're already familiar. I haven't opened my Tripwire yet. He's super cool. I don't know if he comes with different stuff than the first one did. I'm not sure. But I do like the colors. I like the brown. I'm not crazy about the Tiger Force sort of pattern, the brown, the dark brown, and the yellow. And it looks a little hokey. And Tripwire wasn't like sci-fi. He didn't have like bright, weird colors or anything. I feel like he would still stand out in the jungle, but he does match Roadblock's pants. Roadblock's pants have that, but Roadblock's pants are muted. It would have been good here to mute that over a gray. So maybe it was yellow, but you could see the gray through it, and you could see the camouflage pattern. I don't know. That would have worked well, but just mute it a little bit so it's not so bright. But otherwise, Tripwire is an amazing figure. These are 5 great figures for the Tiger Force line. They're 5 great figures in general. I'm happy to have them. I don't think I've opened any of them in their regular... I've opened Dusty. I have opened Dusty. There's like a Dusty, Zorana, Crimson Guard review that I do because they all came out as one wave. But I haven't opened Flint, I don't think. I'm positive I haven't opened Roadblock or Tripwire or Outback. So I'm looking forward to opening those. But this was a blast to open. It was a lot of fun. And I know the colors, it can be a little bit crazy and it can be a little bit obnoxious to get, you know, repaints after you've already paid for a figure. And then they slap Tiger Force on it. But Tiger Force was real. And G.I. Joe came out in the late 80s. A couple waves, I think 2 years it was a thing. And it was right at the kind of the end of the line. So they were trying to refresh those figures. Trying to, you know, make them palatable to a new audience. And the new audience might have said no. We moved on to Transformers or whatever was hot back then. I don't remember. But Tiger Force absolutely existed in the original universe. And it exists here. And Hasbro's trying to build out a universe. And if they want to give me repaints of all the figures, I'll get 2. I don't, you know, as long as it's not like Hot Wheels where they're like, here's a Corvette. And here it is in silver. And here it is in red. And here it is in blue. Please collect all 7 versions of the thing that we put out. It's car number 14, but there's 14 variants of that car number 14. So, you know, good luck. Don't do that, but, you know, I'm enjoying the line so far, and Target has been pretty easy to deal with as far as Tiger Force goes. But I'll let you know, because Tripwire and Roadblock were tough, and they finally came back into stock after selling out initially, so I had to wait for a while. I'm still waiting for that, the ferret with wreckage, or is that what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the vehicle and wreckage. I think that was the driver. Anyway, there's one from Target that I can't get a hold of, and I gotta wait till that thing comes out, and hopefully they'll have more, and I can purchase it. But until next time, I hope you're enjoying your collection. I hope you got these guys, and if you don't, hopefully you can get them cheap somewhere else. But until then, enjoy your toys.